This recording is for Primary Math 3. We're looking at the Intensive Practice Book, page 20. I'm going to talk about numbers 25 and 26. This recording is made at the request of a parent who just wanted a few more words about these two problems, and I'm certainly happy to make extra recordings. If you run into anything you need recorded that I haven't already posted, let me know. It's an easy thing for me to add. Number 25 starts with a diagram that they draw out for you, and they write down some of the things that they tell you in words, and this is a good thing for our students to be able to do, is recognize that the words show this problem. So the sum of two numbers is 100. Actually, there's a bracket here. These two numbers, these two boxes together make 100. And the smaller one is 60 less than the bigger one. We're trying to find the smaller number. The idea here that we would like our students to be able to do is this. Recognize that if I get rid of these 60, I have two equal boxes. So I have 100. If I get rid of 60, that's 10 tens minus 6 tens. That gives me 4 tens. And if that represents two equal boxes, I can take those 4 tens and divide them into two groups, and each of them is worth 20. So the smaller number is 20. I know that this part is 20 and this part is 60, and that is important to do because you can look back at it and say all together the two 20s and the 60 are going to be 100. Yes, I did that problem correctly. Number 26. No pictures drawn here, but it's very similar in what you're doing. It's just you have to draw your own picture. So this time, the sum of two numbers is 1,000. So my two numbers, this represents the two numbers and it equals 1,000. The difference between them is 400. So it's really exactly the same problem. Pretend like my lines actually match up there. This part is 400. The difference between them, the difference from the larger number to the smaller number, is 400. So what I'm looking for this time is the larger number. But it all starts with the same recognition that I have these two parts are equal. Now on this one, you could do it the exact same way. You could say 1,000 minus 400. I have 10 tens minus 4 tens gives me 6 tens, and those 6 tens, I'm sorry, these are actually hundreds. 10 hundreds minus 4 hundreds is 6 hundreds. 6 hundreds divided into two groups would be 300 in each group. And that tells me that my larger number is 700, my smaller number is 300, and I can again check. The difference between them is 400. The sum of them is 100. I know I got it correct. But I can't help but showing you one other thought about this particular problem because it's a great thing to recognize that you can solve this two ways. Again, I know that I have 1,000 for the sum of the two. I know that the difference between them is 400. The problem could work equally well if I, instead of subtracting 400, I could add 400. And that means that my total sum of these is 1,400. If I divide those 1,400s into two equal groups, I get 700. The benefit of this is because I'm solving for the largest number, my solution is the largest number. On the left side, when I did it, my solution was the smaller number, and then I had to take one more step to get to the larger number. So here's the key fact in this. Given two numbers like this, let's say they add to 50. I can either take this difference, let's say the difference is 20, as is. If I subtract 20, then I have these two groups. If instead I add 20, then I have these two groups. So if I'm trying to find the smaller number, if I subtract 20 and get 30, I can divide by 2 and get 15, and that is the smaller box. And then 15 plus 20 is 35. Sorry, trying to go too fast, making a bit of a mess. And 35 is the larger box. That's one method. It finds the smaller box first and the larger box second. The other option is to say 50 plus 20 is 70, and if I divide that by 2, I get 35. That's solved immediately for the larger box. Then I can take the 35 and subtract 20 to get 15 to get the smaller box. Now, the truth is, it doesn't matter which way you do it. But if your child is ready and able to think this way, then they could decide which method to do based on what they're trying to find. If you're trying to find the smaller box, the best way to do is to get rid of the 20 so you have left over these two boxes. If you're trying instead to solve for the larger box, the wisest thing to do, or the quickest way to the answer, is to add 20 and now my two orange boxes don't add up to 50, that add up to 70, and when I solve it, I'm finding straight away the larger box answer. Okay, either you get rid of the extra and have two same size small ones, or you add the extra to the other box and you have two same size larger ones. It's a really good point. I'm glad we made this recording and had a discussion about that, because that's a very good thing for our students to understand. They may not be there yet, but if you, the parent, understands it, and when you present a problem like this the next time, eventually they'll begin to catch on. And with my kids, a lot of times I said, I don't necessarily expect you to be able to do this by yourself. I would like you to be able to understand it when I show it to you. This is also a fine recording just to show your students and let them look through, because maybe by seeing it with the color and the boxes and whatever, maybe it helps them, or maybe you can pull out some manipulatives and show them how it works and do it that way. So thanks for asking. Hope this was helpful.